Hello, truth seekers. Lawrence here, and welcome to Easy Enlightenment. So, losing loved ones is the tough experience that we have to go through in our lives, isn't it? Death creates, that sadness. Now, for some, it's easy to let go that sadness, and for some, they just keep entangling in that sadness because of the past experience. If you are able to dissolve the sadness, it's because probably you have the understanding that we come into this earth, we enjoy when we are alive, including the conflict, fear, and eventually we have to go. This body gives up. And if you have this understanding, then it's easy to not involve in that mental and emotional drama when we lose someone. And when this understanding is not there, then it's easy to, dive into that emotional construction and end up losing oneself in that negative narration. And the reason to dive into that negative narration lost in that drama of losing someone is because the person has created so much experience, so much memories with the person. And losing that person means now you cannot create any more experience with that person. You cannot create any more further memories with that person. You are only left with whatever you have whatever memories you have created, that's all you got now. So there's no person to have fun with you. There's the idea of I don't have anybody to share stuff, experience stuff. And that kind of perception keeps the person entangled in that sadness. Eventually, the person will, break out of that narration, that drama, that stress. But there's there should be an understanding, in the person that we all gotta go. This life is, not forever. Our personal life is not forever. And also the experience that we go through is not forever. It's not long lasting. We cannot control that part. So we come, we sustain for a while, and we gotta go. Now, if you are already in that, entanglement of that sadness, then how to come out of that sadness is by being part of the, yourself, in a way that figuring out, why do I feel this way? Why do I have a hard time letting go, of the person from my head? And especially why the memories are pulling me and anchoring me in that mental trauma. You know, uh, to break out of that entanglement from that sadness is by investigating one's own mind. Especially when the person is sad, you know, person don't want to involve in anything. Not involving in the self-inquiry is not going to help to overcome that sadness. Yes, you can be part of the sadness, but eventually you have to, you know, come out of it. And the easy way to come out of that darkness is by investigating yourself, your mind, why I'm holding on to my past, why I have a hard time letting go of the person's, you know, that memory, that experience from my life. So this is the simple way to, you know, figure out the reason behind our attachment to the person. By the way, the person is already gone. There's no more. But we're clinging to the person's presence as a memory, as a layers in our mind. Isn't it? See, the memories got so much power to make you sad as well as happy. There's happy, you know, memories there. But not having the person with you is the end of the experience, end of making the further memories. The attachment itself is coming from a long term of conditioning with the person. That person is not there anymore. You know, long-term conditioning. You have done so many things with the person. You have created so many, you know, layers. And suddenly that person is not there. Then it's a struggle. So, if you are in that phase again, you know, it's okay to have that, you know, grace period, to be quiet, to you know, figure out things. After that, you know, if you can break out of that space, then that's the sign that you are heavily attached to the person and the memories. And if you're doing that, then we are, you know, forgetting the moment, living in the past, and that can affect you in a lot of ways, you know, because you have to participate in the world. You have your job, you have your, you know, relationship with, you know, the other people. So that you have to put yourself in different places. And if you are not able to put yourself in different places, even if you're putting yourself in different places, but bringing that sadness with you, then it fluctuates, affects your surrounding. And people don't like that. So what can you do is, you know, learning how to dissolve the, you know, that mental negative narratives in you. We are not talking about dissolving or, you know, throwing away the memories. The memories will be there in your mind, you know, but not fluctuating by those memories. You know, after the person leaves you, what you left is only the memories, you know, the joy, the pain, the sorrow, you know, of that, the sorrow that you created with the person is there. And when we remember, we remember the person. But if you're affected by it, then we must learn to understand oneself, so we don't have to get fluctuated by the emotional construction, the mental construction, the psychological construction. Especially if the person who was supporting you in so many ways and the person is not there with you, that creates a lot of uncertainty, a lot of fear, right? And because of that fear also creates, a lot of trauma, a lot of sadness, But no matter where you're feeling tremendous fluctuation or just the just a little fluctuation, if we investigate on ourselves, why am I fluctuating, then we can figure out the reason for our fluctuation. And from there, we can shift gear, make things better, but don't stop there. When you participate in figuring out the reason of fluctuation, reason of sadness, once you figure out the root, I invite you to go all the way until there is no more root is left. And that's the way to ultimately be free from all conflicts, all fear. And that itself is the enlightenment, end of the spiritual journey. That itself is a spiritual enlightenment. So any situation in life can help us to get back to the root and dissolving the root all the way back until there's no more root, even basically no more root is left. That can be done. So today we're talking about losing the loved ones. Loved ones create fluctuation in life, and we can use that fluctuation to figure out the reason for our fluctuation, reason for our sadness, and see how far you can go. So if you don't know how to trace back your mind, is this: you ask yourself, the person is already gone now. Not having the person is creating the fluctuation. Now ask yourself, why am I fluctuating, or why am I sad? Because something, right? When that something comes as an answer, now you ask yourself, why do I feel that way? Or why is that important, that answer? Because now you're using that answer to question further. And then from that further questioning gives you another answer, right? Now, when you see another answer, now you ask yourself, why? Why? ... Right? So this is the way to step back on your mind all the way to figure out the root, and also the same way to eliminate the root as well. Anyway, hope this video makes sense to some extent. Whether to resolve the sadness, breaking the barrier of the mental barrier, or any other fluctuation, we have to be part of the self-inquiry. Self-inquiry leads to, to see the truth within, and seeing the truth is the ultimate freedom from inner conflict and fear. So whether you're looking for the momentary freedom or absolute freedom, both requires inquiry approach. And once you build up the good foundation, then that good foundation, the self-inquiry, will help you to figure out the absolute freedom as well. You can start with the relative freedom, but that process will inspire you to be part of the, you know, the ultimate freedom as well. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. Take care for now. See you in the next video. Bye.